Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that will be prominent beginning today, the 27th of March, and rolling through the weekend. As we get started this week, we are still feeling the energy that perfects today, the 27th, which is Mercury entering Aries. And we could feel this build up a little bit last week, but it's very forceful communications. And as we begin the week and talk about the energy this week, just be mindful of the manner in which you use to communicate and the forcefulness of that communication. The reality of whatever it is that you're discussing may seem very profound to you, but what you don't want to do is come across so strong that people end up shutting down in the process. So, and if you find yourself having a conversation that is a little bit more headstrong than you wanted to, you can always call back and just talk to folks about, maybe I went over the top a little bit. I hope you please understand, that sort of thing. So own it. If you've used some forceful communications that after the fact you thought, maybe that was a little bit much, make that phone call. Pick the phone up and circle the wagons back and seek some forgiveness for some words that might have been a little bit over the top. But be mindful of this as we carry through this week. Again, Mercury will be in Aries for a little bit of time here, but it's most prevalent or strongest when it goes in and comes out of a sign at those anaretic degrees of a sign. So anyway, but tomorrow, let's talk about tomorrow, the 28th, which is Monday. We've got Venus in Aquarius, and that Venus is going to conjunct Saturn. This energy can feel very heavy. It speaks of turning points and decisions, looking back at the sacrifices that you've made for a purpose and determining whether or not the purpose that you made those sacrifices for are worth it. And this can be in love relationships. This could be the relationship with yourself. It could be, your relationship with money. Have you overspent in areas just by fleeting moment excitement, I'm going to buy things, or you're filling a void, so you're going to buy things when in fact that's really not the reason why you want to do it. Or when the sun sets on that situation, you wish you wouldn't have made the purchase because it really doesn't resonate with you, who you are as an individual. But this energy speaks of, a moment of truth and taking responsibility for accepting less than what you deserve. And that certainly could come from a lack of self-respect. The choices that we make are based on how we feel at that moment in time. And we've done a great deal of work here. Again, I'm going to speak of the Venus retrograde season that we just finished a little over a month ago, and how profound that retrograde cycle was. It helped us determine our worth, the relationship's worth, and also a lot of this, Venus in Aquarius conjunct Saturn energy. Have we made decisions that were based on a level of self-respect that no longer works for us because of this Venus retrograde cycle and all of the transformations that it has brought for us? Truly, if you're spending a bunch of money on the external, trying to make yourself feel better on the inside, that's probably not the best use of your money. That's a fact. And there might be something internal that's lacking that you're trying to plug by buying things on the outside. The same is true for love. Do we love ourselves unconditionally first, love who we are as our authentic self, and then invite others in from that place of harmony and peace, and then invite them into our life? This is a time of stark truth, and I do believe that Venus retrograde cycle is going to help us make choices that come pretty quickly here. I don't think this is something you're going to be able to hide from or run away from or turn away from. It's a stark truth that's going to cause you to make decisions. And again, that's on Monday. Now, the next big aspect we've got this week, we have a new moon in Aries. I'm super excited about this new moon. There are heavy Mercury and Chiron influences at the time of this new moon, as well as very positive trine between Pluto and the North Node, which is going to continue. So any new situations that present or that we instigate at the time of this new moon are certainly aligned with transformations towards your true north, transformations that lead you to your North Node or your life's purpose. But truly, a new moon in Aries is all about, well, new moon overall is about new beginnings. And new moon in Aries speaks of a zodiac new year, culminations of things in the Pisces season that we've been able to let go of that has created space for this new moon in Aries so that we can set a new intention, start this new cycle, not only the 30-day cycle for this new moon, but also, or 2-week to 30-day cycle for this new moon, but also for this new zodiac year. Resonating with the new you as we've emerged from these retrograde cycles just before we jump back into some transformations with the Pluto retrograde season as well as other planets and eclipse season, which is just around the corner at the end of April. So there's a lot of instigations going on here, a lot of things going into that instigation. So let's talk a little bit about Aries and what the 5D resonances with that as well as the 3D. So 5-dimensional Aries is all about authenticity and being a spiritual warrior, not standing on a soapbox and so much as that forceful communications as we spoke about, but standing true for what you truly believe in at a divine level. And doing so for the best interest of yourself, but also the collective. That's spiritual warrior. But also relying on yourself as an individual. I know that I can trust myself for this purpose. Now, 3D realizations relative to Aries, it's a lot of chaos, impulsivity, risky behaviors, not well thought out paths. Truly take no prisoners. It's all about me. I'm very self-absorbed in the situation. I don't care about anything else. I'm just going. I'm just unbridled. I'm going. I'm doing it. So think about what resonates with you when I speak about 5D and 3D. Hopefully we're all in that 5-dimensional energy, or if you find yourself dropping into 3D, lift yourself up to that 5D understanding of what Aries is. And just at the time of the new moon, embrace the level of Aries energy, that 5-dimensional energy that you want to embody so that you can set that intention for the next 2 weeks to the up and through the zodiac year, taking into account the astrological configurations that will take place over the course of the year. And then apply it to how you want to be. Now, as I mentioned, there's a strong Chiron influence and Mercury influence. So both of the first Mercury, let's talk about Mercury first. So over the course of the day, the Sun and Mercury will conjunct. And this is all about being true to yourself. This is all about speaking your truth. And being honest and open communications that will help you. Let's say you've made a decision on Monday, a difficult decision on Monday, and now you're ready to have that honest, open communication, being authentic and true to yourself while having that conversation. You'll feel this energy come in, and that Sun-Mercury conjunction is going to give you all you need to be able to have those conversations. Then, just shortly thereafter, Mercury is going to conjunct Chiron. And remember, Chiron is our wounded healer. And Chiron is in Aries. I truly believe Chiron being in Aries is healing those 3D pieces of ourselves so we can ascend to 5-dimensional energy. And I also believe that because it's in Aries, which is the first zodiac sign, this could be, young childhood conditioning or generational conditioning that we have the ability to overcome through healing. So with Mercury conjunct Chiron, this is expressing yourself from a place of authenticity that is a very healing way of communication and standing in your truth for all that you've overcome. Now, Chiron can also make us feel vulnerable. So on this day, you may just start to feel a little bit vulnerable in an area. Make note of that area where you're feeling vulnerable. Chiron's asking you to heal that vulnerability. And maybe it's through communications, because Mercury's involved here as well. Maybe it's through those communications that we begin to heal. And we communicate for the purpose of healing while being authentic to ourselves. We're no longer going to give away us for the purpose of healing someone else. We can be somewhat self-absorbed, but we can be self-absorbed for the purpose of healing without being harmful to others. It's also a good day at the time of the new moon to seek assistance from a spiritual healer or a trusted advisor, because you are going to be ready to heal old wounds for the purpose of being authentic. Like I mentioned, Pluto is conjunct, or excuse me, is trine the North Node. So these communications, these thoughts, this communications that you have, which has to do with Mercury, that are for the purpose of healing so you can be your authentic self, is going to create some powerful transformations of old wounds that will allow you to align with your North Node and where you want to be. What is your life's purpose? You are going to be able to become authentic in how you see that and take action. Aries, take action in getting there. So it's really exciting. This is a very big week that starts out with some stark realities with that Venus conjunct Saturn, and then realizing some turning points and decisions that allow us to clear things away. These things that were brought up at the time of the Venus retrograde that really didn't resonate with us, or maybe we were on the fence about it. Now we know. Now we know. They can be cleared away so that we have space for the new moon to usher in transformations, new beginnings that align with the hard work and dedication that you've put in. Take a look back. Where were you 6 months ago? Where were you a year ago? Where were you 5 years ago, 10 years ago? You will see that you've transformed immensely. And it's time to step into what that new beginning looks like to you. This is the final corner. You're round in third base. You are healing some old wounds, perhaps generational old wounds, so that you can embrace this new beginning that Aries promises us in this astrological year as well. Now, as we look forward to April, we do have some big things going on in April, and I do believe that this new moon and these new beginnings are all about what we're going to see in April. We have Jupiter is going to conjunct Neptune. We've got Mercury entering shadow, which will eventually go retrograde in the sign of Gemini, and eclipse season begins. So we've got a lot to look forward to. We've done a lot of work. We've healed ourselves in ways, and we'll continue this week so that we can embrace that new beginning. Well, that's all I have for you this week. If you have any comments or questions, please post them in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you like this video, please like it. And if there are those out there that feel that you feel could be helped by these videos, do share it with them. Click the subscribe button if you want to know when videos are being dropped. I hope you have a fabulous week of healing, healthy communications, and embracing your authentic self. Namaste.